Hello viewers, thank you very much for joining me on today's episode on How We Learn. Today I have an amazing couple. I have a doctor in the house. I have a pastor. He is my pastor, he is my mentor, and I also call him my friend. So today we have in the house Pastor Dr. Bello. He wants to share with us how he met his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Bello
And
and his wife.
the introduction is not complete without my wife.
Yeah, it's still not complete. So I left that part for you because you introduced her properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, wherever it is you are watching us from. Yeah, I'm Joseph Bello. I'm the doctor, and also by God's grace, I'm a pastor. And then, most importantly, I'm the husband of this beautiful woman.
So,
Oluwatoyin Abigail.
Okay.
So,
if you are joining us for the first time, this is Bellos YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and share, and then drop a comment in the comment section.
at the point of my French.
Sister in my lodge is their customer.
So I tried talking to her, chatting her up just to. She was no smiling and happy. And I was even counseling her about it. Our brothers who wanted to, who were doing maintenance ministry for her. So I think I feel that it's not the finest. It's not the first time I'm seeing a fine sister.
First of all, we would like to know how you met. Like, how did it all start? And but we'd like to know your part of the story first, and then come to your own, and then we'll see how to fix it together and then have a story. So, sir, tell us, how did you meet her, sir?
Okay. Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to start from somewhere because I think I'll start from when I got the what to register for. I was done with my housemanship, my internship as a doctor, and then my way to register for NYSC. So my school did not upload our details in time, and so because of that, because then the way NYSC worked was that they would just give you 5 slots or so for you to choose which of the states you want to go to. So by the time people were choosing states, the states available to be chosen were almost all gone, save for, in fact, I think I was on my way to the cafe. There were like 2-3 states available. Other Zamfara, and there's this state close to Zamfara state, not Katsina, KB. And then I think for the 2 states and maybe one other state. By the time I got to the cafe to register, there's only Zamfara. So, well, I just chose it, and then that was it.
So that was the only state you put.
That was the only state available.
So all of that first slot.
There was no. I think they were not available. Wow. So it was less than 5 that was available, and that was what I chose. I just filled it, and because for me NYSC was, if I had my way, I wouldn't have done NYSC. So I just used it and then left there, and then when the call-up letters came out, I think that's what they called it. I posted me to Zamfara State. So, well, that was the first time I was going that far. I think farthest I've been was Kaduna. Yeah, maybe Kaduna. But I'm not sure I've gone beyond Kaduna, but I can't even remember. So, apart from the fact that I schooled in Jos. So, traveled, went there, and then went to camp, did everything. So, the first challenge was, should I stay or should I redeploy? That was the first challenge. And then I actually had the opportunity to redeploy because, as I tell people, at that same time, my younger sister was also going to serve, and then she was posted to Abuja. So it meant that I could also redeploy to anywhere I wanted to go if I wanted. So there was some pressure to redeploy, but I felt, let me just stay. Because I had counseled, I remember a long time ago, I had counseled one of my friends who was also posted to Zamfara that he should stay there. And he did. And I also posted to Zamfara. So I just went there and then believing that God was going to take care of me and everything. There was no marriage plan in my head at that time because the story is actually long. There was no marriage plan in my head at that time. And then when I also got to camp, after camp, went back home, got my things, came back, and the rest, joined the fellowship, and then so that I can be fast and brief. Somewhere, just as soon as I joined, I began to sense that I was going to have a responsibility to lead in the fellowship. So, and because of that, I now felt that there's the way they also operate, that they go to camp and then go to welcome new core members and then also encourage them, because one of the things is to make people stay. When they come, what will leave? So your plan is to, as you go to the camp, to welcome new core members. You interact with them, look out for whatever issues they have, trash out the issues, and also see how to persuade them to stay. So because of my profession, and also because I also sensed that I was going to have a leadership role, I felt I needed to have that experience of going to camp and seeing how they welcome people and the rest and the rest and the rest. So that when I have any position or when I have any responsibility, so to speak, I'll not be a novice. So, and then the small time I had was like a weekend, I think on Friday to Sunday because of my work. So I went on the Friday and then I left on the Sunday. But, and then that camp I was going was the camp my wife came.
But different batch?
No, we're not, I was already settled.
Okay, you already settled. Yeah.
Yes, I was already serving. So she was coming to camp for the first time. Same Zamfara.
God knows why he closed the
So same Zamfara. She was coming to camp for the first time. So I was in batch A, she was in batch B. So I'd settled already into service here, and then she was coming to camp for the first time. So, and then would I say, as God will also have it, that day that I went, that was the first day she was reporting in DLCF booth to come and introduce herself and say, oh, I'm a DLCF member, and the rest. And so there was, so usually when they come like that, we take their details, chat with them, try to make them feel comfortable, ask them questions, know a few things about them, and then just encourage them to stay. So as I came into camp that day, I still remember the clothes I wore. In fact, that shirt is still in the house. And then I just saw one sister just walked in. One fine sister.
And you were impressed in your heart.
There was no impression. It wasn't that there was no impression.
There was
nothing.
Nothing.
Well, the truth is that I think I've told her, she's not the finest, she's not the first time I'm seeing a fine sister. So I've seen many fine sisters. So when
looking at you.
It's true. Okay. Kamaparo.
Go on.
So I've seen, and because I've had many exposures, I've had, by reason of the places I've been, like my everything, leadership, career, and I've had many exposures. So I've seen different kind of people. So when I saw, yes, as soon as she walked in, I knew there's one beautiful sister that came in. So she sat with me, by just on the other side of you. So I took her details, and when three or so things stood out in that conversation. One, it was the first sister I would be seeing in that orientation camp. Yes, that's one. Two, she was beautiful. Yeah.
She is beautiful.
That one is sure.
Back then she was.
That one is sure. She looked beautiful. And then three, I felt, this person is committed. For you to walk all the way to come and say you identify with yourself, you know where you're committed. And then four, her son name was my name. So when I wrote her name down, I said Joseph. I said that's my own name. So her son name is Joseph, and that was my name. And then she also read human kinesiology. That was the first time I was hearing that course. So I tried talking to her, chatting her up, just to normal engagement, normal DLCF. Okay, trying to be nice. She was no smiling and happy. And I was like, are you a quiet person? And so I forgot what she said. But after that, she left. I didn't keep it to mind. I didn't even, because I wrote her number down on the sheet provided. I didn't collect her number. I didn't do anything. I just left it. And then because, as I said, she's not the first fine girl I'm seeing. So I just left it in, and then that was the first time we met. And that was the first time I was seeing anybody by that name. I'm not sure, did I tell her that we deploy or not? I'm not sure maybe we had that conversation. But that was the first time I was seeing her.
How about you? That was the first time also. Right?
Yeah, that was the first time I met him.
Okay.
Yes.
So along the line, so how did you? I know some people may say before you get married, you have to build friendship, you have to do this, you have to know the person very well. So how did you two of you now grew up like be friends and all before you started praying and all?
Mm.
In terms of friendship, how did your friendship start after that period when you met her?
Friendship. It was my leader. There was nothing like friendship.
Okay.
Because after, as he said earlier, when we came out of the camp, it became the GC. So it was directly my GC, and at the point I was also the financial cord, yes, for the state. So that was when we started working together, and I was able to talk to him one on one. But I think naturally he's someone that is friendly. So he likes to converse with people, he talks to people, ask questions and all. So then I was also learning how to make bags, and I think one of the ways to encourage people, most of the sisters in my lodge is their customer. Let me expose it. Sisters, like, there is a way he encourages people. I was learning back then, and he told me to make bag for him. So I made bag for him. So from then we started talking. So there was no close, there was nothing like friendship per se. So it was close to most of the sisters, like normal talking.
Normal,
Yes,
general
customer and leader.
But at the point we were friends. So. Yes. After I left, we had
And
small.
that was after. He was talking about after camp, like
Okay.
yes.
After camp, it was
So
just a
obviously
regular thing. It was
so at what point did you have the conference?
well, friends, but it's not like a serious friendship.
Okay.
Because we had, as you said, we had responsibilities, and then one of the things also, I was not having marriage in mind. So, and then I had many of the sisters, as I said, I tried to just encourage them to do what they do. Some were making certain things, I'll buy, and I had some small money because they were paying me. So, what happened was, for me, what I remember was that at one of these times also that I had, one of the striking conversations I had with her was when we needed somebody to go to camp. At that time, the rules changed. People were not going in beats. People had to go. If you go for that 3 weeks, you have to stay in that 3 weeks in camp. So we needed somebody. So somebody now told me, I think the sister was the coordinator there, told me, we talked to her that her PPA is not very busy and that she could volunteer to go for 3 weeks. So I spoke with her, and then she volunteered. I was very impressed. Wow, she was this committed to what we were doing. And so that was one of the conversations we had. Then once in a while, some small conversations in between. I think before that time, I was even the one dragging her that she should join the workforce.
Yes.
And she would say this month, that month, I dragged her, and she joined finally, and the rest. So we now left. And now the whole thing was just still platonic. It was
Not really
platonic.
So all this happened during 1 year of camp.
No, 1 year of service.
1 year of service.
Yes. Yeah. It was not even because
it was about
maybe 6
when
9
he was
months.
about to leave, the whole thing started.
Okay.
Because even when he was leaving, although I've started, God has started speaking to me about it, but I wasn't too sure. And even when he left Zamfara, the day he left, I think is it that you called or what?
That call? I just sent him.
Okay, I think you called in the lunch. Sister Ofe told us that GC has gone, has left Zamfara.
GC, you left like that?
We were not.
No, like
yes.
you left.
It was. I had a job interview.
Okay.
And it was sudden.
Okay.
So in fact, they called me that day, and said if I could come on Monday for interview, and it was maybe whether Wednesday or Friday or something. So I had to just quickly go and it was COVID was about coming in. They were about doing lockdowns and the rest. So I just left. So, but around that period also, because of responsibilities, in fact, before that time, we had traveled together. Okay, myself, her, and the sister coordinator. Fellowship sent us for one sister's wedding. So that period also gave us opportunity to talk. We knew ourselves.
You even talked about marriage.
I was even counseling her about marriage. I'll tell you.
About marriage.
So it tells you that I was not probably thinking I was going to. I just knew that this sister is a nice sister. She behaves properly. She's nice. She's committed to God. So she deserves to get a good husband. So Probably I just counseled her, talk to her. I remember where it was a night bus, I mean.
Yeah.
We were around Futa area when I was counseling her, I can give that counsel. Not knowing that I was sowing seed into my destiny.
So on the right ground.
So I talked, and we went there. We had some more close interactions. We talked and everything. We came back. So we started talking more frequently. Then when I left, also a few days after I left, we also talked. We also had some WhatsApp chats and everything. She told me to help her do some things, and then so we had some small chats. But it was not, but around that period also, should I wait for you to ask a question or I should just talk?
Just go ahead.
So another period also,
Becoming interesting.
I'd seen something before I left Zamfara. But also because I dream a lot, I don't have to. Dreams will not be the only thing that will make me to say, "Oh, this is my wife." I've seen many sisters in the dream. So it means that I'm married like 10 people. So I knew that I'd seen something already in the dream. And then around that period, I was also about living. I think that was when I began to have some feelings. But also, as I have journeyed some of those parts before, I knew feelings are transient rather. Are things that could just disappear in the moment. So you cannot count on feelings and say, I kept them. I could bank feelings. I could just keep it and then look at it and push it and then check it in the spirit. If it's not something that should be, I push it away. So it was just there. There were some basic feelings when I was living, but they were not strong enough to make a commitment to marriage. So I left without even telling anybody anything. So when I left, I think the day after we started chatting. So I think from that time we're chatting once every day.
Just once in a while,
so
drop message.
So we're chatting like that. But until I now prayed, and then I now felt led. I remember when I prayed, I took a time to pray, and I felt led that she was the one. So I now started talking to her a bit more frequently until at the point I was thinking that I'm beginning to talk too much to this sister. If I told one of my pastors, and I said that maybe I should just stop. So I stopped. That was what happened. That was how it happened. And then, but she didn't know all the while. She didn't know all the while. It was just like, okay, maybe she just feels like this man has become my friend or something like that. But
what do you mean?
But I didn't tell you now. Did I tell you?
You not tell me.
So we have a baby.
Come.
I think want to join the set. Please bring her.
You should put that in the middle, right?
Yeah. Treasure. Her name is Treasure. Hello, Treasure.
Hello.
Very welcome with Momsy. Yeah. You're welcome. We need a mic for you because we need to hear your story too. All right, that's wonderful. So along the line, when you started noticing, when you noticed the way Nana you started chatting, do you feel? Was there any green lights? That's the way they call it. Was there any green light? Did you ever?
We didn't really chat. Can you still go back to that chat? We didn't really chat. Like it's not like I'm not sure it's up to like 5 times.
You know me, I don't have to talk too much with sisters. So if I now talk today and tomorrow, it will look like plenty talk. You know those times too, there were brothers who were doing maintenance ministry for her.
Yeah.
I know.
The ground.
They were doing maintenance ministry. They were calling her all those guys. If I one time we went to camp, we also went to camp together.
We went to camp together.
So one of those camp we went to. But one of those nights, a number of those nights, we just leave where we are and go and pick call outside.
My friend,
so
I was not in gossip.
Then I was not sure.
Okay. But there was nothing then.
For me, maybe I started appreciating her then, but I was not sure of whatever would happen. But then she would just go and pick calls.
Innocent calls.
Yes. So she said all those things were there, and then the rest, and then the most important part of the whole process was that when it came time for me to, I don't know, I just prayed. I just took time before I started commence that job that I got. I went, took an interview, and then I think before the interview or the job, I just took a Sunday off. This Sunday, I think it's Sunday. Did a 1 whole day fast. After fasting, in one of the prayers in the night, I think I woke up with one of those prayer sessions, from one of those prayer sessions, just with a knowing that she was the one. And then God had led me with knowings before, so it was not a new thing. So I knew that she was the one. So when I had that knowing, then I waited for some small time and then talked to my pastors about it. So, but I let her talk, say her part, so that not be like saying my part.
No,
So before that time,
yeah.
Before that time, sir,
Yeah.
Before that time, did you have any fear, like, have been any fear prior to that time? Like,
About
marriage?
No, I knew I was going to get married. So, but yeah, there were some concerns in my heart. The first time her thoughts came, or the first time I felt led, so I had some concerns. Okay, this, that. One of them was I had known that she was the only daughter in her family, and we are not of the same tribe. So it was something that was a concern. And another thing also was a concern. I looked at both of them. And then, but one thing that was striking in the whole period was that I had peace. I had one very loud peace that I still have up to today. So I had peace with the whole process. And so when I went, even though there were also fears that, okay, I knew my genotype, I'm AS. So, and then it was actually a temptation because I felt, I was a leader, I could just call her and say, how are you? And then I'm a bit wise. So I could ask her, what's her genotype without asking her what's her genotype. And then she would have told me without even knowing that she told me. But I felt that I will know that I asked her. Yeah. I wanted to make, because I will know that I was the one that asked her that. So I wanted to just allow it to be a faith walk. So I left it. I knew that because there were challenges. One of the challenges was it was already COVID. And for me to have to travel from Kogi State back to Zamfara just to go and see marriage committee, and then I was not sure of my genotype. Something I could just call her and say, how far? That was a genotype. So, but I wanted it to be a faith walk, so that to be that at every moment, I believed God for something. So I allowed it. So I just did not ask her anything, not tell her anything. So I went there, and then I saw marriage committee. I filled the necessary forms and the rest like that. And then one day, the marriage committee chairman just called me and said I could propose. It was victory. Because it meant that her genotype was not yes. That's what it meant. So, and it meant that at least it was also a way to guide me. Because there's a way I feel there's a way you grow in spiritual knowledge and spiritual stature, that even though you are sure, you still give space for, I'm a human being. I could be led astray by emotion. It might be that because I saw somebody that looked like a speck, and then my emotions are the ones speaking. So one of the ways to put quality assurance to what I've had is to allow those gaps. Look, I don't know a genotype. If a genotype is now not my genotype, it means it's now the same genotype. It means that what I had was probably wrong. So those are the things I put in place. That I didn't also go and ask her and say how far, and then propose to her, and then she comes to tell me and say, how would I travel that far? And then you're not sure whether somebody will say yes or no. Those are the things that I did.
So how about you, man? Prior to that time, when you have gone to the marriage committee, did you see it coming?
Yes.
You saw it coming?
Yes.
What? So tell us how.
Yes, because before he left, I started having some encounters, but I wasn't sure. As I said earlier, I wasn't sure. And when he left, when he called the sister so that he had left Zamfara, I was like, oh, okay, probably what I've been having is just not correct and all. And he just left like that. Even after he left, we didn't really, okay, that was when I started chatting. We started chatting and not really frequent. Just forget about it. But the encounter keep coming. I was like, can this be real? And things around, like there are some happenings I can't even explain. Like in the lodge, you can just be talking the whole issue about him. They will just focus on me that do I know how to but we're all sisters in this lodge. Do I he left, he called everybody. So that period I was having that kind of things. I was having that kind of encounter. I was like, this cannot be. But along the line I was still praying. I was praying, I wanted to be sure and all. So although along that period, along that process too, I was trusting God. And that period, I think, let me just fast forward because the thing came. I was having dreams, I was having physical encounters and all. So I think during one of those times, our state coordinator, because I was working directly with him, I was the state's financial call. So he just called me. I think you are home. See, I've not jumped like this. I think he just called me that, Sister Tonya, I said, I'm fine, sir. How about your marital life? Have you been praying? I said, and that day was, I think, the day I was to start a fasting and prayer online. They tagged it, praying for your future husband. Like that period, like, that period, it was just marriage, side to side, marriage, issues with marriage. I was like,
someone was somewhere else.
It was just marriage.
I didn't go any fire on that.
So he just called me after the normal thing we usually have, and it was like, have I been praying? I said, yes, sir. He said, has God spoken to you? I said, yes, but I'm still praying. I can't take decision based on that. I'm still praying. So he said I should pray. And it was later I knew that it was later I knew that he had called him about me. But I didn't even know. But I told him there's someone, but I'm not sure about it yet. So we had that program, and I'm also in a group called BUD. Yes, I'm in BUD, and that time was we normally have this yearly program tagged July. So it was that period. Also, the period came, and I was still praying. Oh, I've jumped too. That was when I was praying for you had proposed then.
Proposed in?
Yes, you had proposed.
In July?
Yes, it was.
Have you?
Doing that. Okay, yes. Let me just stop that.
Yeah, proposed in
the
July.
Encounters I had and how Pastor called me and all, it was already on my mind then.
And then you said something that during that time you had the feeling that that you was one.
Yes.
Or you were not sure.
Yes,
so
I wasn't sure.
Praying,
yes.
So, and along the line, when you were not told to go and do genotype and blood test.
Yeah. He even came to the lodge now.
That day?
He came. When he came, I think that Sunday. No, okay, that Sunday was to see the MC. Yes. He came to the sister's lodge to come and say hi that he's around. And in fact, my sister welfare then, she came into our rooms to call us out. Our former GC is around and all. I was even then. I knew it was the one, and I knew why he came. I knew why he came. So I was reluctant to come out. I was reluctant. I was inside my sister welfare still came. He wanted to come and know that Sister Tony. He said, Sister Joseph. I said, you. He said, I said, Sister Joseph. Sister Tony, bro, Joseph is outside. I said, I will go. I will go and greet him. I just went out and I greeted him. And he was saying, how are you? I was asking me, which I was greeting, innocent greeting. I greeted and I think I stayed small.
You have to learn how to be a mature man.
Yes.
You must also learn how to be a mature woman. Yes. I greeted him.
As you came out, no, I went to what happened was that I came now. Since I came, it would be wrong for me to just come and then because I was going to travel on Monday. I think I came in on Saturday and then I was to just see the marriage committee Sunday and travel back on Monday. So that was the only window. And then fellowship we were no more holding centrally because of COVID. So but I still just say, okay, let me go and see the sisters in the lodge and also see her too. Because that's why I came. So I came, saw them, we gisted, in fact she was shy. I don't know how she came out. He came out. You know those kind of good girl things. You don't do this. just did my mature brothers
Focus.
because and then did what I needed to do and then left. And then
wait for her.
no,
Was it that same thing you proposed?
no,
No, that was when
I proposed via phone.
that was his
Oh.
first visit to the MC.
That was my first visit to MC. Because I couldn't go and come.
So
So
before that time,
yes.
had you proposed already?
No.
You did not propose, you
I don't. I just came to
MC.
yes, came to see the MC. So I used the
But we
opportunity to
had
see
both
them
knew
and
then.
see her.
Mm.
So and then I not told her anything in the background. So she came with her. But I think she didn't even stay so long. But other sisters I was listening, I
Yes.
didn't
Yeah,
really-
wait inside though.
And
You see.
one of them even knew that said, "Kai, that this one like GC came."
There's something.
You kind of shout.
I got my hair, so boy.
So on the day of proposal, when you walked inside, I don't know how they normally do it over there.
It was on. He
I
called
proposed
me.
on
Oh.
phone.
It was a phone.
He wanted to come. They said, "Should
I had to
but I was-
beg them because of COVID. I couldn't travel again that long distance. So I had to. They understood, and then they said I could call
Okay.
her and then make a proposal on phone.
So the day he called, we are home.
I was coming from, was it Tuesday? One of the services, I can't remember, maybe Tuesday leadership meeting or so. We're coming down from church bus. Yes, we're coming down from church
He
bus.
called with his phone number and then he called.
Yeah, he called with
She
his
has my
number.
number now.
I have his number.
Okay.
So I saw the call, but I think I was working with one of the other sisters that you know, so
Okay.
I didn't pick the call. I did not pick the call. I
Okay, so
missed
it's
the
like
call.
you called me
And
back.
now when we get to the hostel where I could talk, then I think I left the lodge to the compound. Then I called him back. So when I saw his call, I was suspecting that it's like this is what I want to shoot. So I called him back and he proposed.
Over the phone.
Yes.
It was over the phone.
After, but you gave me a small message now. I have prayed. And I was carrying.
Okay.
And,
You didn't say the other part.
which one? Which one now?
The one that you used to remember. Don't worry, forget about
Hey
it.
babe, please remind me now.
Please remind her.
Please,
so
please,
that-
please.
That I loved you. You didn't say it.
Which one? Yes, you said it now. Yeah, you did.
So what
You
did you
did.
say? What did you tell us?
I've forgotten those lines, but
The truth was that even that day, I used to be very confident that what is proposal is just fire the thing. But when I now call and then she now picked the call, I was shocked the way I was. I said, "Hey, hold me,
You lost.
hey, hold me." Because I was very confident that
Just keep the phone.
if I minister. And so, but I was just from, but I could, along the line, I was able to put everything together, tell her the most important parts of why I called and the rest. It's okay. She might want to
Do
pray.
you
Yeah.
think if you had done it, do you think you have done it better?
Sure,
They have done it better.
sure,
Wow.
sure.
very sure. In fact, my plan was to do a video call,
Video call.
but the way the MC chairman called me before that time, he gave me some warning, so I just maintained. I just said, okay, instead of doing a video call and causing trouble, let me just
No,
do a normal call. But if it was a physical thing, in fact, I'll be confused.
So, man, after the call, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I spoke to
She
my
was
God.
happy.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Why not? But still,
You're happy.
She was happy.
How would she be happy?
How did you know?
I
How did you know?
Okay.
But the fact is that God is faithful, because after he proposed, after he hung the call, I just looked up to God that God. I forgot what I said, but it was I had little talk with God and I went back inside the lodge. Since I had already knew, so it wasn't a shock, it wasn't a surprise stuff to me. But at least I was just happy that God confirmed what what he had been showing me.
So,
But I feel
you still
yes.
went back to still pray.
yes.
So, during that period, how was it like? How long did it take for her to
It was not long.
It was not
I
long.
even tried.
respond?
6 weeks.
Disaster.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Less.
Like
1
close
month.
to
And 2 weeks. Yes.
Why did you do
I was still praying.
Ah,
To be sure. I wanted to.
In fact, it got to the point my mother said that. My mom, because what happened, you know, I wouldn't have told my parents that I was going to do this. Maybe when I was done, and then she had said yes, I would inform them, oh, I've done this kind of thing, that you have a potential daughter-in-law, something like that. I'll have told them. But because I was going to travel during COVID, there was no way that they wouldn't have known. So why I was traveling? Why would you be traveling during COVID? What happened? So I had to tell them. And thankfully, they were praying with me. They're believers also. They were praying with me. So when I told them, okay, they were now very interested in the whole process. Like, okay, what's happening? Okay, I proposed though. Okay, yes. So everybody was thinking that like 1 month at the most, she will come and say what she wants to say. 1 week pass, 2 weeks pass. Okay, well, she wants to do shakara. 3 weeks pass.
Exactly. So
Okay, so that was it.
yes, nah.
3 weeks pass. 4 weeks. I think my mom will call
I was still praying.
that whenever she come and finally say that yes, they will ask her. How did you take this long? So up till so when it was now 5 weeks and the rest. But I think during that period, one of the scriptures that came to me was that the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth and has long patience for it. So so I knew that, and I think I was not even expecting a no. So
it's confident.
You know now. I they know. And then many times when these women start taking long time,
it's a positive
answer.
Yes.
So then if they will not pray, they'll come and tell you no the next day. Because they have planned the no already. But when they are taking time sometimes, they are so. And I gave her the excuses that okay, maybe she wanted to be sure, maybe all those kind of things like that were there. And then I think when it was week 5, I had to call the state coordinator. I said,
Pastor, what the
Pastor called me. Sister Toya, I said, fine. Have you given brother? Have you gone to see the marriage committee? I said, yes. I said, why? I said,
no, it's not okay. I've not gone there.
Yeah, I've not answered. I've not gone to MC. Well, Pastor was just telling me that I've not. I said, yeah. I said, why? I said, I'm still praying. Yeah, we'll go.
I'm telling you. So 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Then I think that's 6 weeks. So Pastor Nam finally called me and said that she had gone. I think it was a Sunday. She had gone to see marriage committee. So I think my parents were not aware that because they were not very. So I now said, okay, she had gone to see marriage committee. So I'm expecting her to call me that Sunday after seeing marriage committee to tell me. Although the way Pastor sounded, I was also it was also showing that she's probably going to say yes. But he didn't say it directly, but he said, don't worry, everything is fine, everything is fine, everything. I just knew that. And then I could. So Sunday now, she did not call us again on Sunday. What's happening? She had to call Pastor. She has not called. So Pastor now called her and said that she will call me tomorrow. That was Monday. So, on Monday morning, she now called and I say, yes.
Did I say
You said what kind of things now? I forgot what she said. I knew that she said yes.
I've prayed and I'm convinced to say yes. Yeah.
Kai.
It was not long. Okay, when he proposed, that actually when I told my parents they didn't really have issues with him being maybe from another tribe because they're also believers. They've preached about will of God, so it's time for them to. So they didn't really have issues about me marrying him, but it was just my auntie was like, he has that story about the tribe and I said, oh, Shebi is the tribe, but this is the person I'm marrying and I believe nothing like that will happen. So that was when I said yes. So it was not really hard. Yes, it was not really hard.
Okay. That she wants to enjoy the last day of her single life.
Yes.
So,
I was also during that period too. It was juicy July period. Okay. So I wanted to also.
You said yes.
Yes.
20th July or 24th. When is
20th? August. I said yes.
August. It's Eunice's birthday. August.
On Eunice's birthday?
Yes. That's August.
Okay, yes. So August
24th.
24th, yes.
I proposed July 8th.
And
And
I got
she replied August 2.
yes, because it's true, it's true. My last confirmation was during Juicy July. So yes, I got a scripture and I was able to say that yes, confidently.
Interesting section. So lastly, before we round up this particular episode, I know there are sisters out there that are actually watching this video and there are brothers out there. What are the final words to them? Those who are afraid and did not say men, those who are in the process, and those who are about to marry. Just say something. You never know what your words can actually do to encourage those watching out there.
I will start by saying, because the whole process started when I agreed to serve in Zamfara. Yes, when I saw my call-up letter, in fact, I was in a sister's room back then in school when I went for my clearance. And I didn't tell that story, we were just in the room, myself and my roommates. So we just saw the call-up letter and I saw Zamfara. And before then, because we didn't even sleep, we were waiting for 12 a.m. to see where, so we were still awake and I think we were playing one message, GS message, and he was singing one song like that. He leads me something like about direction and all. So when after the whole stuff, I just checked and saw Zamfara. The sister started singing where he leads me. So I said, this is not just ordinary. So, and I picked like first state or the options I took, and I saw Zamfara. So I just have to obey, and I wasn't having the intention of redeploying. So number one, we should always put God first in whatever we do. Sisters out there, you should always try to put God first. Then whatever you are doing, you should have the mind of God. Don't be too forward. Don't think that okay, you have the whole control of your life by yourself, to yourself. No, God has a perfect plan for you. According to this scripture that says, the thoughts that I think towards you is of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So he knew us more than we can ever imagine. So whatever it is, allow God to lead you, allow God to guide you, and the end result, in fact, you will be surprised. So my own testimony is that my own testimony is how can I put it, is as a result of God's leading, and which I did not decline. Adibi have changed my look. In fact, when I was in camp, I had options. My brother was coming because we served the same year. He was in Jos. He also served. He was sent to Jos, and he was like, he redeployed back to Abuja. So he was calling me, I should deploy. I said, I'm not redeploying. I'm staying in Zamfara. In fact, my platoon officer then too was like, why am I staying in Zamfara? I was like, I want to stay in Zamfara. He was like, is your husband here? I said, I'm not married though. I don't know if my husband is here, but I'm not staying. So the point is, allow God lead you, and when He leads, be rest assured that it's a perfect peace He's giving you. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Yeah. So
final words.
yes, the whole journey tells me that God still leads in the process of getting married. God still leads, and then we must be accustomed to the voice of God, to know when God is saying yes, when God is saying no. And we must also learn how to organize ourselves, learn how to. There are many aspects to the whole process. There's a spiritual aspect, there's a social component to the whole aspect. So, like that, if you now go to tell a sister that you are led, she will not have so many things she will have to be struggling with. I say, that brother, he does to dress well. That brother is not tidy. That brother is this. That brother is that. Even though she is short. So you should also be able to package properly. And then beyond that, as I said, primarily, marriage is God's idea. And because God's idea, it will only work God's way. It will only work God's way. So you must just rest. You don't need. Before I got married, one of my very close friends, I think before I even left for service, I think I was already engaged. And then they asked me, they come in and say, Dr. Joe, I will just laugh and tell them that Jesus will soon come. So I ensured that I was not under pressure.
Yeah.
And so that nobody puts you under unnecessary pressure. You now go and marry something you did not plan for. Somebody was talking to me just yesterday and said that he went to marry because he hasn't been difficult in his current marriage. He said that he went to marry darkness. When he said that, I knew that it's not about getting married though. It's getting married where? And normally in psychology they tell you that a married man is happier than an unmarried happy man. Happily married man is happier than an unmarried happy man. But an unmarried happy man is happier than a married unhappy man. So you say you're married but you're not happy. It's better to be single. Than when you now find, because we're Christians, we're believers, you now finally get married, you are praying, and those women, they will not even die. You say, oh God, something should happen, she should die. It's a lie. God will give them long life. So you cannot go out of the marriage, you cannot do anything, you are just stuck. So there's still the old way, and that old way, the tested way of knowing the will of God. Well, however you do it, whether the person is your friend or is not your friend, ensure that in the midst of whether friendship or no friendship, you had God. And you were sure that you had it. And then do everything through the process. Take the processes seriously. Don't, now if somebody has said yes, don't come and, sister is holy, was holy before she met you. She had kept herself for 20 something years before she met you. Just because she met you now, she's now defiled. Doesn't make sense. So if she's holy before she met you, she'll be holy through that process. And up until you now finally get married. Because there will be temptations. The truth is that we're human beings. There will be temptations. There will be days, as strict as Deeper Life churches, there are still days where you find yourself almost alone with that sister. Like one of the instances when they said we should go and do tests when we came, when we transferred our parents, they don't have to carry somebody and say, go and supervise them. But you should know what is right from what is wrong. And then these things are worth the wait. Everything in marriage is worth the wait. Everything is worth the wait. So why steal what you eventually own? It's your own. You eventually own it. Why steal it? Why? So people should learn how to be at peace. Be patient with your journey. That everybody around you has gotten married does not mean you will not get married. And nobody has the calendar, the time of anybody's life. So it's probably in God's timing. Somebody should get married at 28, somebody should get married at 30, somebody should get married at 35, somebody should even get married at 40. But the point is that whenever it happens, you should wait. It should be something that you should be proud when you look back and say, thank God I waited. Thank God I went through the journey the way I should go through it. And then if you do all those things right, you are signing up for a peaceful life, for a peaceful marriage, for a joyful marriage. Like that, even you are happy that you are married. You are just happy that, thank God, I made the right decisions, I made the right choices, and then everybody, even people around, will know that we are doing well.
It has been a wonderful and exciting session with what do you call yourselves? Like, some people say we are the J's, we are
the what?
Bellos.
So that's an exciting moment and time with Bellos.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and if there's anything I stood out in this conversation is the aspect of waiting. Like, no matter how long it takes. You know, you said something about your calendar is not in the hands of anybody, it's in the hands of God. So no matter how long it takes, no matter how far you think it is, just wait. While you are actually waiting, it's time for you to focus and actually know why you are waiting. So once again, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a rare privilege. It's a rare privilege to sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode with Bellos. We have something juicy coming up. I will not steal anything out here. So we have something interesting coming out in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Peace out. down.